Now we're into our rebuttals. It goes with the foreside first. Your rebuttal begins now.
Really, there is no big downside to robots taking over some of human jobs. There will always be more jobs. As long as humans have desires, there will be more jobs for these desires to be fulfilled. There's really no reason why a robot would take over any job that revolves actual thinking or creativity. Like, the robot might be able to do this job very well, but who's going to think of the new parts, the new designs, and the new programming for the robot? There is really no fear of robots taking over the world or all jobs. It will only take the small, non-well-paying jobs from humans having to do it, like simple manufacturing, mass production. All of these jobs are very low-paying and really have no extreme skill needed. So a robot taking it, allowing humans to get better jobs, better education, would be beneficial.
While some jobs will be automated, some things can't be done repetitively. If you're making art, like visual art, you don't want to have the same art made over and over again or else it loses worth, since art is usually one of a kind. We need human minds to do things like creating new things, like art or books, or even study things. Anything that hasn't already been created can't be automated, which will allow for more jobs to be made since more things need to be created, because that's how the world works. In alternative, without robots, we would not have most of the things we have would either be non-existent or much more expensive. For example, take cars. One of our sources says, quote, "Since Henry Ford introduced the assembly line approach to making vehicles around a century ago, car companies have worked with automated procedures to make it easier for vehicles to be made in mass quantities. The point behind this concept was to get as many products out on the market in the least amount of time," end quote. This is good because automation allowed for more people to buy his product, which helps the economy since there's more money to go around. Human resources could be spent on things that AI wouldn't be able to handle. Doing repetitive tasks can be left to the robots, leaving you to do more creative and intuitive things.
Just how me and my group stated that robots can do more than humans can. Robots cannot, they have a Okay, robots will be better than the economy and will have more reproduction of any type of brands. Usually when
robots can do things that humans cannot, such as go discover places that humans are not able to go due to the ecosystem or the environment. Robots have better energy and work for longer times than humans. Having robots take over human jobs means they do not get tired easily or need more breaks than humans do.
All right, thank you so much. Rebuttal from the other side.
In the second article you decided to give us, it does not state anything about money. And money, considering how big of a topic it is, that's pretty. Money is needed to buy stuff like the actual robots, and considering in your second article, it doesn't state anything about it. Also, okay. Michael Chewy, James Manica, and Mehdi Miranda, 2016, states that last year we showed that currently demonstrated technologies could automate 45% of the activities people are paid to perform, 45% of all jobs, and also, it states that automated vehicles could threaten or alter 2.2 million to 3.1 million existing U.S. jobs, and that could mean that some of the considering it's 2.2 million to 3.1 million existing U.S. jobs, one of your parents could actually lose your jobs just out of automation.
So before you said that robots can do much more things than humans can, you won't know how it's very unpredictable for the future. You can't predict what jobs will be created in the future, but it's always been like that, says Joel Mokire, an economic historian at Northwest University. Imagine trying to tell someone a century ago that her great-granddaughter would be a video game designer or a cybersecurity specialist, he just suggests. These are jobs that nobody in the past would have predicted. An recent study by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development states and estimates around 9% of U.S. jobs are high at risk. But the other part of the employment equation, how many jobs will be created? Of course, jobs are going to be created by automation, but you just need the skills for it. And not much people can really stay around for the future and looking out. People can't stay on task and catch up upon what's happening in the world today. And you know how for one of Mr. Chin's lessons, we had learned about data talking and millennials. Millennials were the ones that had talked and found out that the technology today is much more easier to use than the ones from before.
You guys said that there's no fear for robots taking over jobs, but there is fear for them. For example, notable mishaps that have been documented include a robot security guard knocking over a child at a California shopping mall, a demonstration robot smashing a window at a Chinese conference. It caused a bystander to get injured, and 144 deaths in the United States caused by robotic surgery. Similar incidents could be caused by robot controlled remotely by attackers. It says, we found existing robot technology to be insecure in a variety of ways, and that insecurity could pose serious threats to the people, animals, and organizations, as stated by Patrick Nelson.
Also, in the fourth article you decided to give us, there's no author raising the question if your information is correct. That could mean that you are blatantly picking your articles, and basically one of the articles you picked could have been a random person. And yeah, I know that it doesn't work anymore, but that was before.
Are you resting? There's 3 seconds left of your time.
What?
Keith. Pause, please, Mary.